Hello guys, how are we? Okay, let's get the elephant out of the room straight away. Grease Live. Look, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but in my Rioja-fueled haze, I watched the world of live theatre broadcasts be changed forever. Now, if you haven't watched my last video about the future of musical theatre, it's a nice way for you to get a glimpse of what came before with the live productions from NBC. Who is sick of that exclamation point already? I am. Now, Tommy Kail, the director, who has also directed Hamilton, also directed In the Heights, he has officially climbed to the top of my directorial aspirations. In my opinion, it was his plan to include the live audience in the production that made everything. Because let's face it, at the end of Hand Jive, when their hands shoot into the sky and Patty Simcox does this amazing sort of split leap jump, all you want to do is stand up on your feet and applaud because it's so good. And in all of these past NBC productions, you're like, oh. You know in theatre, when you go to applaud and no one else does it and it just feels so awkward? It's that, but after every single number. And it's not even like they're bad. Naturally, you would be shaking in joy if it was The Wiz Live, not any of the other ones. But you would be so excited because, you know, Shanice Williams had just melted your face off. And I missed that applause. So NBC, you know what to do, okay? Up your game, get someone in there clapping, and I'll be happy. But hey, here's a factoid for you. Did you know that since the performance rights were released for Grease, it has topped the top 5 most performed amateur musicals from the UK and the US, with its endlessly catchy tunes, high school setting, and ambiguously aged high school students. You can see why. Although its Say Goodbye to Sandra Dee philosophy may not be the best 21st century ideology, no one can deny that Grease is a heck of a lot of fun and deserves its place in the cornerstone of amateur and community theatre. But how about that word, amateur? AMDRAM. It sends chills up the spine and casts images of highly embarrassing and awkward milky whites. Really poor. Well, thanks to a lot of media, you wouldn't be blamed for thinking of that. With the cliched diva meltdown, or over-the-top trying to copy movies, and some of the most heinous directors you could ever encounter, amateur theatre hasn't really been painted in the best light. But not on my watch. I am taking back the night and casting off that chorus of disapproval surrounding amateur theatre by starting a new project. Yes, we are simply calling it I Love AMDRAM. Or ILAD for short, because everyone loves an acronym, don't they? I'm going to be going around the UK speaking to amateur theatre groups about who they are, what they do, and why the hell they're so damn important. We're going to get a little snippet of the shows going on as well, and hear about some of the shows that I've done before, so be prepared for lots of theatrical goodness. That is great, doesn't it? So sign me up, Max. Okay, whether you're involved in a group right now, have been in the past, or never missed the show of your local amateur theatre, which by the way you get an extra gold star for, I want you to drop me a tweet at @AsInHendrix telling me about who you are, and we shall talk. Oh, and if you're in the US and you want me to come say howdy, feel free to drop me a line as well, but be prepared to talk about expenses. The Atlantic Ocean thwarts me again. Look, in my opinion, amateur theatre is the thing keeping the dream alive. With constantly increasing ticket prices and terrifying regional budget cuts, we're now stepping into a world where theatre is becoming more and more exclusive. But with amateur theatre, there are no holds barred. Did you know that every year there are over 2,500 groups putting on over 30,000 shows across the UK? And you know what? Some of the most creative work I have ever seen has come from an amateur stage. Some of these shows I simply would never have been able to see on a professional level because no one's decided to pick them up yet. Literally, the rights for In the Heights were just lying about for a couple of years before my group were the first people in the UK to say, hey, this is really good, people should see this. And now it's soaring to amazing heights in London, proving just how much the UK wanted this show. Speaking of heights, our hero Lin-Manuel Miranda is a massive advocate for amateur theatre. In his words, where else could a little Puerto Rican boy play Tevye? And rightly so, Lin-Manuel Miranda. In our lovely world of amateur theatre, you just simply need to be good to get a part. But not to diss all my buddies in the professional world, they're starting to see this too. Did you know that in 2010, the team behind Billy Elliot created a short shorter version of the show and offered it out to amateur groups and youth groups throughout the UK, put on workshops and even gave them a chance to perform in the Palace Victoria Theatre in London. My hat perpetually goes off to these scores of theatre enthusiasts across the world who give up their time for free in order to do the thing they love most. Whether it's on stage or backstage, like the standard of some of these productions is staggering, and you can literally see the blood, sweat and tears poured into every aspect of the show. I mean, not actually literally, that would be really disgusting, unless it was like a production of, I don't know, like Sweeney Todd or like Titus Andronicus or something, in which case more blood. But all bodily fluids aside, I love AMDRAM. I would be absolutely nowhere without it. In the future, I want to owe my life to it, as would countless other directors, MDs, producers, cast, creatives, behind the scenes, on stage, wherever the hell you are. All of my best memories are associated with my time in AMDRAM. All of my best friends are from when I did AMDRAM, and that ain't gonna change. I look into the future because I've got those powers, right? And I see the same people in my life, and I still remember all of the skills and important things that I learned. All because of AMDRAM. It's so important. So let's give it some love, people. You can expect ILAD episode 1 very, very soon. But look, I want to hear from you. Tell me your I love AMDRAM stories. In fact, god damn it, let's create a hashtag. Yeah! And hey, if you want me to come and speak to your group, I want to too. So just please drop me a tweet, drop me a message, comment, whatever. Use that hashtag ILAD and we will do lunch. Perhaps a piece of Mahler's. Anyway team, that's all for today. So yeah, just drop me a line, subscribe or whatever, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Let me present you with a scenario. Someone sends me a bootleg of Hamilton. I weep for about a week, then I watch it, and I love it. I cry into my grapes as I'm eating them on my bed while I'm watching it. Then, oh my god, a ticket to New York lands on my doorstep with a note saying, here, treat yourself to a free Broadway show. Cue more weeping, followed by frantic packing and a cheeky flight across to New York City. And here I am, gazing up at TKTS, and I'm working out what show am I gonna see? And look, there is no doubt that Hamilton is one of my favourite and greatest pieces of musical theatre in the past 10 years. Seeing that original production would mean I would be a part of Broadway history. But there's Allegiance, there's The Colour Purple, there's Fiddler on the Roof, all monumental shows in their own right, but Hamilton is Hamilton, right? Right. The dust coming off that, oh my god.